back to the Mindbender Mental Performance Podcast.
Episode 141, Lessons from the Mountains, Faith, Mental Toughness, and the Climb. Today's episode is especially dedicated to the former NFL great Mason Cole turned endurance athlete. Yes, indeed. It is the Mindbender Mental Performance Podcast, the only podcast that former Licey baseball great Enrique Bayrenes says makes players fuerza en la cabeza. El lugar es aquí. El momento es ahora. Wherever you are, the place is here. The time is now, taking it from the clouds to the dirt, one episode at a time. It's about showing up, being present, and knocking down mental and oftentimes emotional barriers that get in the way of consistent and confident performance outcomes. Today, we're talking about mountains, not just as a metaphor, but as a way of life. In Scripture, mountains aren't just physical places, they're spiritual battlegrounds, places of revelation and tests of endurance. And let's be real, most people don't climb or don't even like the climb. Stand by. Got some shit going on outside, and this is live. Boom. Back to the episode. Let us be real. Most people don't like the climb. Why? It's steep, it's sweaty, it's uncomfortable, and it's humbling. The mountain is a truth teller, but the climb, literal or figurative, is where you find faith, grit, and clarity. So whether you're coaching a team, playing the game, raising kids, the lessons from the mountains apply to all of us. Let's dive in. The view from the top requires hard work and perseverance. The deal is you don't get the view without the work. In Scripture, Matthew 14:23, Jesus climbed a mountain to pray. It says, quote, after he had dismissed them, he went up on a mountainside by himself to pray. Later that night, he was there alone. And Luke 6:12 gives us another little glimpse. One of those days, Jesus went out to a mountainside to pray and spent the night praying to God. Think about that. Jesus, the Son of God, didn't take shortcuts. He climbed. He labored. Why? Because he knew that to get close to the Father, to gain clarity, it took effort and solitude. And the great Lord Byron, and if you've ever been to Mount Lemmon, into the bathroom at the cookie cabin on the top of Mount Lemmon, you'll see a quote from Lord Byron on a poster there that says, in solitude, we are least alone. Fucking love that. For you, the climb might be the off-season workouts, the late nights with film. It might be getting up and grinding in the morning, balancing school, sports, and life. For coaches, it's about showing up every day and modeling what perseverance looks like. No one's handing you the view. You want it? Go get it. Because the struggle to the top is what prepares you for the responsibility of the summit. You got to embrace the suffering. Let's not sugarcoat it. Climbing hurts. Life hurts. Sport hurts. But suffering isn't pointless. It's where transformation happens. Look at Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane. Matthew 26:36-46 says, my soul is overwhelmed with sorrow to the point of death. Stay here and keep watch with me. He didn't shy away from the pain. He prayed through it. He endured it. And ultimately, he trusted God's greater plan. And then one of the best scriptures I think I've ever read, James 1:2-4 lays it out perfectly. Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. For you, suffering might look like an injury, maybe a losing streak, or just feeling like you're stuck in the grind. Lean in. Suffering isn't a sign you're failing. It's a sign you're growing. Oftentimes, we think we've been buried, but no. We've been planted. The hard moments teach us resilience, grit, and the ability to trust in something bigger than ourselves. We need to gain perspective and clarity in solitude. When was the last time you got quiet? I mean, really quiet. No phone, no noise, just you and your thoughts. Jesus climbed mountains to find solitude and clarity. And in fact, in Mark 1, verse 35, very early in the morning, while it was still dark, Jesus got up, left the house, and went off to a solitary place where he prayed. I mean, what better example do you need? The greatest coaching manual of all time is the Bible. In those quiet moments, away from the chaos, he connected with the Father. He got the clarity he needed to lead, teach, and endure the mission ahead. For players, for coaches, for parents, this is our reminder to pause, to get still, to reflect on our mission, our vision, our principle, and our purpose. Without reflection, you're just spinning your wheels. Clarity comes in silence. We must make time for it. Faith is the ultimate guide. One of the most powerful moments in Scripture is the Sermon on the Mount, Matthew 5 through 7. Jesus climbed to a place where he could speak with perspective and authority. From there, he delivered wisdom that's still shaping lives today. The lesson is when you trust in God, you gain strength and direction. But faith isn't passive, it's active. Let me say that again. Faith isn't passive, it's active. And in Proverbs 3, 5 through 6, it reminds us, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, submit to him, and he will make your path straight. Trust the plan, even when it doesn't make sense. And in fact, show me the plan you trust. Or they say, trust the process. And I say, well, show me the process you trust. Put in the work and let your faith guide the rest. You must have gratitude for your journey. Here's a perspective shift for you. Instead of bitching about the grind, be grateful for it. Jesus modeled gratitude even in struggle. In fact, in John 6:11, Jesus then took the loaves, gave thanks, and distributed to those who were seated as much as they wanted. He did the same with the fish. Mountains are reminders of God's greatness and faithfulness. The struggle to climb the mountains teaches you to appreciate the view even more. Gratitude isn't about ignoring the hard stuff. It's about recognizing the lessons in the process. We have to use the view to inspire ourselves and others. Let's bring it all home. The mountain isn't just for you. During the Transfiguration, Matthew 17, 1 through 8, Jesus revealed his divine nature on a mountaintop. That moment wasn't about showing off. It was about inspiring others with the glory of God. When you hit your own mountaintops, whether it's a win on the field, a personal breakthrough, or a life milestone, use that success to lift others up. In Philippians 2, 3, 4, it really freaking nails it here. Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourselves, not looking to your own interest, but each of you to the interest of others. Climb not just for your glory, but for God's and for those who follow in your footsteps. Let's get real about how to use these lessons. Climb together. Take a buddy, take your team, take a teammate or family on a hike. Talk about perseverance. Talk about faith and the beauty of God's creation along the way. Model prayer and reflection. Let your kids and players and teammates and friends see you praying, journaling, and reflecting. Teach them the value of solitude. And define your mission, your vision, your principle, and your purpose. Help your family and team define them. Root them in faith and mental resilience. Those are the things that are sustainable. Those are the things that are true. Celebrate the struggle. When challenges come, remind them they're climbing their own mountains. Reframe the pain as preparation. Para mis jugadoras latinas, más línea, más vida. Hasta la próxima, recuerda. Si quieres ser un jugador disciplinado, comprometido y preparado en el futuro, empiezas esa mierda hoy. Se necesita lo que se necesita y lo mejor está por venir. Until next time, remember, if you want to be a disciplined, committed, and prepared player in the future, you start that shit today. You already know it fucking takes what it takes. And the best is yet to come.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.